Mangwanani,
Masquerade say,
Makadini.
we are the Katiyos. And in today's video, we are going to be discussing a topic that is a little bit more deep, a bit more into the core. So today, we're going to be discussing insecurities and self-image and the glow-up process. So we're going to introduce our special guest today. Our special guest is Mr. Influential, Farai Katiyo. He likes to call himself Mr. Influential, but we want to find out whether he's been influential all his life. So tell us a bit about yourself, Farai.
Okay, my name is Farai Katiyo. I was born in Zimbabwe, and I moved to New Zealand when I was about 10 years old. So I did part of my primary school education in Zimbabwe, and I finished the rest of my schooling in New Zealand. I'm now married to this woman in front of me, and I now reside in Australia.
Nice. Plain and simple. So you said that you grew up in New Zealand, then you moved to Australia, and you were born in Zimbabwe.
Mm-hmm.
How was it growing up in three distinctly different countries?
Yeah, it's been interesting. It's been challenging, but I think it also makes me a very well-rounded being, so to say. And according to you, it's given me a very weird and unique accent or tone of voice.
That's true.
Yeah.
Did you face any challenges while you were growing up?
In terms of what?
In terms of knowing who you were. So you now call yourself Mr. Influential, and it seems that you're very rigid within yourself. You know who you are. You're proud to be Zimbabwe. From what I can see, you're a proud Zimbabwean.
Yeah.
You're a proud African. You like to inspire. You speak, you rap.
Yeah.
You do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Have you always been like that? How did you get to a point where you were influencing other people?
That is a very loaded question. I think we are all influencing people one way or another. I think just some people are more aware than others that they're doing so. But I wasn't even speaking to people. Sometimes when I interact with people that knew me from a while ago, they say that I'm definitely a lot more confident. So I suppose I wasn't always this confident and self-aware. I had many insecurities. It wasn't easy being Black in a different country. It wasn't easy being skinny as well growing up. Yeah, I did have a lot of challenges for sure. Yeah.
And what would you say as an adult now was one of the biggest insecurities you had growing up? Or plural, insecurities that you had? And also, what would you say, how would you say that influenced you now as an adult and growing up?
Wow. Biggest insecurity I had. I think two come to mind. I think obviously the race thing, and I think probably being skinny. Like, I remember when I think back of my childhood, I just remember being picked on for being skinny. At church and stuff. Some of my old mates, people would say, if he stands on his side, he would disappear because it's so thin. Or they would say maybe if he rubs his hands together, he can make fire because they're two sticks. You wanna laugh. I remember even some relatives, because like I was even now I'm a lot smaller than my younger brother from Guy, if you guys know him. So I remember one time even my grandmother visited us, and she was like, you're doing well with this middle child, but this older one is very small. And back then I had an afro. Yeah, I was rocking the afro before he started rocking the afro.
Okay.
And she was even like, maybe if we cut, maybe the hair is taking up all the nutrients in the body. So I think being skinny was probably my biggest insecurity, or where I got the most mocking from. Yeah.
And how do you think that influenced you later on in life?
Obviously, I think you sort of are very self-aware. You sort of try to wear clothes that hide your body structure. You do this, but I think as I matured, I just became more comfortable in my own skin for various reasons. I think a lot of it is also with my family. My mom has always instilled in us that everyone is created in their own way, and we shouldn't be laughing at each other's bodies. And also becoming a Christian and knowing what Christ has to say about me, that built a lot of confidence as well. And you realize as you grow older, being skinny or being big is not the end of the world. You can always go to the gym. It's such a small thing. I guess it's given me an understanding that perhaps people are hurting in some way, or in one way or another. It's given me the ability to relate to someone maybe who's being picked on. And I think it's also made me more human. Yeah, made me more human, made me more considerate of other people. And it's also made me realize that no situation is permanent. Yeah. I remember, and it's also given me a lot of songs. It's also given me a lot of bars, a lot of bars. Like I have this song called Glory, where I say, the skinny kid that they used to pick on, insecure like the rappers that I used to lean on as role models. And those models the girls see on billboards just want to flee. Photoshop just won't let us all see they are broken like you and I, in search of a purpose like you and I. That purpose is found in the Most High.
Bars.
Bars.
We saw your rap.
Yeah.
Nice flow.
Yeah.
You're pretty good, some might say.
Yeah.
Wow, that was powerful. Some really powerful lyrics.
Yeah.
So now, we know that you rap. We also know that you speak.
Yeah.
As a speaker,
right.
Have you tackled those topics of insecurities in what you speak about?
It's funny you mentioned speaking, and I think I just realized when you asked me about the insecurity questions, another insecurity I had was my voice. But yet now I speak a lot, so I get to hear my own voice a lot, and other people get to hear it. I think often, right, the devil sort of attacks us at our point of strength, not at our point of weakness. My point being, whatever he attacks, we sort of second guess. Whatever we second guess, we are not confident with or in. And whatever we are not confident with or in, we cannot use. So the best way to make sure that a speaker never gets to speak is to attack his voice. Because then if he hates his voice, how can he have anything to say? The best way to make sure a speaker never speaks is to make sure he hates his body. Because if he doesn't like his body, how can he stand before people? Much like, I think you've told me that you were not very confident with your natural hair, but look at where we are now.
So, would you say now that you are confident in your voice, do you love your voice, or have you learned to accept your voice?
I've never thought of that. I can't say I love my voice. I think I'm just used to it. That's the voice God gave me. And I can never have another voice. And I think in recent times, I've had a lot of compliments about my voice from very unlikely sources, or from from online, from my wife, from people online, from people I bump into. Yeah.
Isn't it interesting how the first thing that your future wife had noticed was actually your voice?
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is one of the
I
things
didn't
that
know.
you...
Did you know her or something?
Yeah, she told me about it when I met her the other day.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, let's say there's a little young man out there.
Yeah.
He's not confident in himself.
Yeah.
Let's say maybe he doesn't like his face or his voice or his body shape or something about himself or his skin color. What advice would you give to that young lady or that young man?
I think the first thing I would say is that it's okay to feel that way. I think quite often people make the mistake, right, of judging someone's situation, of judging someone's journey when they've never walked a mile in their shoes. I remember there's a video I made sharing my life journey, and it was put on some platform, and I had comments from people saying, you can't be marketing racism as a way of, you can't be talking about being racially discriminated as a way of gaining success. I live in Australia. I never had issues with race. Actually, people said they love my accent, right? But you find that even though that may be the case for that person, that they lived in a similar environment to me or to you and never encountered racism, that's not necessarily my story. Everything has a context. Someone might have come here as an adult and went straight into the working force. So therefore they say racism does not exist, but only because they're dealing with adults in a professional environment. But someone who went to school, to primary school, to high school, surrounded by kids in a very unprofessional environment, will have a completely different experience.
Yeah.
Are you following? I love my dad. I remember he was having a discussion with fellow Zimbabweans, right? And this guy said, I don't understand what people complain about in the workplace. I'm happy in my workplace. I have never been racially discriminated in my workplace. And my dad said, that's very good. But if you take a step back and you look at your type of job you do manual labor, whereby the white man says, can you lift that crate and put it over there? Or here's a hammer, can you break those rocks? That's all you have to do. But when you start to become a doctor, a lawyer, when you start to have to speak, to use your intellect, to challenge the white people, to assert your authority, you might find that there's greater resistance. So what I'm trying to say is that it's okay for you to feel that way. Don't let people tell you that it's wrong for you to cry about your insecurities, or that what you're experiencing is not real, because everyone's context is different. But I want to tell you that nothing lasts forever. Yeah? You can change your body, and naturally it will change. How I look now is not how I'll look like at 80. If you're too skinny, you can always go to the gym. If you're too big, you can always go to the gym. And you don't even have to at all. We are all made in our own way. We are all unique. Everything, everyone, we are all a brand. And quite often, we feel bad about ourselves, not because we are inadequate, but we're a product or a brand that's been given to the wrong market.
Yeah.
It's like trying to sell video games to 60-year-old men. They will not appreciate them. But you sell video games to 12-year-olds, they'll embrace them. There are people out there, young person, young girl, who are looking for what you have, the gifts that you have. There's a guy there who's waiting to meet you, who fall in love with you, flaws and all. There's a woman out there who's waiting to meet you, who fall in love with you, flaws and all. Do not give up. Do not compare yourself to others. Do not feel inferior to anyone. But continue to work on your gifts. And most likely, your gift lies behind your insecurity. That's all I have to say.
Wow. That was powerful. What can I say after that? Yeah. Do you have any final remarks? I don't know whether you can top what you've already said. Do you have a cherry you'd like to put on top of that sundae?
I just want to say I look forward to hearing your story. I know that we're going to do that one next. And I hope that my story inspires someone in some way or another.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Farai, for meeting us today and being open and transparent.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. We hope that Farai's story has helped someone or has given some light to someone's situation. We appreciate you, Farai, and your open transparency with us.
I'm a married man. Be careful.
Oh, thank you. With that being said, this marks the end of our video. We will see you guys in the next video, where we'll be talking to me and getting deep and emotional with me. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for joining us today.
See ya.